The band stopped, and Annette strode over to the podium. She grabbed Mr. Watrous' conducting baton and tapped it on the music stand just like he always does. Everyone looked over, and Annette started talking. How many of you are going to have trouble meeting the service requirement and staying in All City? Come on, raise your hands. About 3/4 of the band raised their hands. Wouldn't it be great if you could somehow get service credit for being in All City? People were looking interested now. Because I think that Renee over there, Renee waved, and I have a way. Listen, guys, I'm sure you all know that there are families on this town who have dire financial situations. Families that are trying their hardest but just can't seem to make ends meet. Families that can use a helping hand. Am I right? Well, sure she was right, but on the other hand, she was also starting to sound like a street corner preacher. I myself felt vaguely like jumping up and shouting, Amen! But I figured it might be wise to find out what I would be amening about first. Gentlemen of the All City Jazz Band, we have an opportunity to reach out that helping hand to one of our own. I know you are all aware of the serious health problems that Stephen Alper's brother has had this year. Oh, God. But what you probably don't know is that little Jeffrey's disease, leukemia, is extremely expensive. The Alper family is struggling to pay their bills. Stephen's mother has had to take a leave of absence from her job to care for Jeffrey. So just when their need is greatest, half of their cash flow is gone. Annette stopped for a moment, and Biff spoke into the silence. Yeah, we all know about the peasant's brother. What does that have to do with getting the band out of the service requirement? It doesn't have to do with getting you out of the service requirement. It has to do with getting the requirement into the band. Huh? We can make our concert a benefit for Stephen's family. Renee, can you tell these guys about the numbers? Hi, guys. We did some math here, and this could really work. If we charge $15 a ticket, and there are 1,000 seats in the auditorium here, that's $15,000 right there. Then we have a bake sale set up in the lobby. Brian, don't your parents own a bakery? Yeah. Maybe they could donate the stuff or sell it to us at cost. Anyway, I bet we could easily sell 500 pastries or whatever at $1 each, so that brings us to $15,500. Then there's the program. We could probably get a printer to donate or at least work at cost too. Then we could sell ad space. What's the going rate for yearbook pages? $3.50 a page? If we got 15 full pages of ads, that would be, where is it? Oh yeah, that would be another $5,250 for a total of $20,750. What do you think, guys? Yeah, woohoo, save the peasant family. Personally, I thought my parents were either going to kiss the ground or wring my neck, and I had no idea which. Before everybody left, Annette and Renee got Mr. Watrous to agree to the plan, formed committees, designed some flyers and ad sale forms, and even sold one ad. The second trombonist said his parents would buy half a page for their jewelry store. Truly astounding. It was like seeing Bill Gates at age 13, times 2, and half of him was wearing a cheerleader uniform. Yes, I know that's a weird image. On the way home, I thanked Annette for the idea. She was flying high, I think because now she was really a big part of the concert again. I wasn't sure how I felt. On the one hand, I knew the money would be a big plus for my family, and it would be great for Jeffrey to have a big special night. On the other hand, I was concerned that my parents might go nuts and trash the whole idea. Plus, and I know this is shallow, I wanted the concert to be my big night. One thing was for sure, one way or another, if my rents didn't veto the entire shebang, it was going to be important. As I got out of the van, the driver said, "Listen, kid, I couldn't help overhearing about your brother. That's a tough break. I'm really sorry." Now, here was a lady who had driven the two of us to and from rehearsal twice a week for over a year, and this was the first time she had ever talked at all. It was a relief to know she had the power of speech, but I was struck again by the power of cancer to get attention. For better or for worse, being involved with cancer puts you on everybody's radar screen. Now I had the challenge of floating this proposal to the Rents, and I had to do it right away because my mom and Jeffrey were leaving for Philly in the morning. At dinner, even while I was joking with Jeffrey, fielding questions from my mom about schoolwork, and wondering how my dad could have such a blank facial expression without actually being in a coma, I was nervously waiting for the opportunity to bring the whole thing up. Finally, I seized the day, or carpe the diem, if you wanted some Miss Palmer lingo. My dad mentioned that he had already gotten somebody a $7,000 tax return, and I pounced. "Wow, Dad, $7,000 sounds like a lot of money, huh?" Why, yes, Stephen, it is. I know a family that could get nearly 3 times that by April 15th. Who? Us! Well, son, our return won't be that big this year. We are going to get some money back because your mother stopped working and I hadn't claimed the single earner head of household exemption. Also, the interest on our stock dividends will be less than we had projected. It's rather interesting. I had based our estimated taxes on a historical rate of return of approximately 10% annual yield. However, when the stock market slowed down, we actually had a negative rate of... Dad, stop with the accounting talk for a minute. You're talking to a 13-year-old who got a 37 on his math final, remember? Anyway, that's not what I meant. I'm talking about an idea that some people have. See, the All-City Band needed a human service project, and a couple of the students came up with an amazing plan for one. Since we have this performance coming up, they thought, why not make it a benefit concert? A benefit concert? For whom? Well, for us. Jeffrey, please go into the family room and play. Uh-oh. But Daddy, I'm still eating my burrito. You get plenty of food. Go. Double uh-oh. Well, I had found a topic that put an expression on my father's face. It might have been nice if the expression weren't the teeth-gritted grimace of a sumo wrestler about to charge, but hey, progress is progress, I suppose. We argued back and forth about this for a while. Initially, my mom was on my dad's side, but as the discussion, it's amazing my parents call everything a discussion. If I were standing across the street firing a bazooka at my mother while my father was launching mortars back at me and Jeffrey was charging down the driveway with a grenade in his teeth, my parents would say we should stop having this public discussion. As the discussion wore on, my mom got quieter and quieter. Eventually, before my father and I degenerated to the oh yeah level, she stopped us. I think I'm going to be ill. What do you mean ill? Honey, Stephen and I didn't mean to upset you. We were just having a discussion. Sure, and Mount Everest is a hill. No, I mean ill, as in get me a bucket. Triple uh-oh. Stephen, don't just sit there. Get her what can he get you? Men. With that, she stumbled out of the dining room. When she turned on the super loud bathroom fan, we knew exactly what was going on, and that left a fairly urgent problem. Jeffrey figured it out fastest. He appeared in the doorway. Daddy, Stephen, if Mommy is sick, who's going to take me to the hospital tomorrow? Quadruple uh-oh. Who is going to take me? Stop.